We're going to do the call to order and pledge of allegiance. The Finance Committee is a standing subcommittee consisting of two council members, currently Paul McCoy and James Clare, the city manager, city treasurer, and the finance director. The Finance Committee considers and makes recommendations on matters referred to by the city, by the city council relating to finance, budget, audits, capital planning, and debt. Would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to go ahead and go to item 2, which is public comment. Public participation is limited to those items listed on the agenda. The city requests that persons addressing the Finance Committee refrain from making personal, slanderous, profane, or disruptive remarks. Committee members, when recognized by the committee chair, may ask questions from the presenter, but no action may be taken by the committee during the public comment section of the meeting. Under the Brown Act, the committee is prohibited from discussing or taking action on any item not listed on the posted agenda. Please speak from the podium. Please state your name for the record prior to providing your comments. Please address the committee as a whole. If you have documents to present, please provide a minimum of 6 copies. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes. So if we have any public comment, now is the time. Okay, just checking. So public comment follow-up. This time is for the Finance Committee or City Manager to respond to public comments and may direct staff to prepare a report or place an item on a future agenda. There being no public comment, we're going to go ahead and move on to item 4, which is discussion. And we're going to start with discussion A, which is discussion and review of the updated budget for fiscal year 25-26. That's 2025-2026. And the budget for fiscal year 2026-2027. As most people know or don't know, the city of Yreka is only required to have a 1-year budget, but the city of Yreka has a long-standing tradition of putting out a 2-year budget so that they can look further ahead. And that's something that I, as a finance committee chairman, support. And I'll just say that. So I'm going to turn it over to Finance Director Emily Aldrich.
Thank you, Paul. As you may recall, we did do a 2-year budget last time, which did cover 25-26. We are doing a full revise of 25-26 and 26-27 as a new budget because we, at the time of doing the original 25-26, we did not know that Measure V was going to pass or that we were going to have fire personnel. There were just a conglomerate of changes that came about due to those getting passed. First and foremost, I want to thank Tony Woolman, our staff accountant, for putting this together. She has done a magnificent job of helping pull together all of this information and making sure we have a reasonable and good budget. Cindy, do you want to go ahead and pull that up for us? Thank you. So overall highlights, we did redo all of this for the inclusion of Measure V. Obviously, things have changed in the past 2 years. Our firefighter personnel and other changes that have come to light. As you know, we have our general fund is coming into the good. Not a lot, but it's always better than nothing. It does include the cleanup expenses for Campus Drive, which we estimated at about $40,000. Could still end up being more than that, I am pretty sure, but at least $40,000 would put a nice dent into trying to get it cleaned up. Overall revenues were $27 million compared to operating costs of $29 million. Is this just general fund or is this overall? This is overall. Overall. This is overall. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't remember. I thought I wrote a note and I did not. So this is the overall budget that we're going to be asking council to pass. I know it looks a little scary there with the revenues of 27 and the expenses of 29. Do not despair. This is why we have general fund savings. for our larger projects that need to happen. For example, the purchasing of the Shop Smart building. That's why we save up reserves, is for these one-off events that require us to dip into our general fund reserves. Some projects that we currently have going on in general fund that are included in here. The finishing of the ringy pool design, which we had specifically set aside funds that rolled into our reserves that we're now going to use because it was specifically designated to do such. Same case in point for finishing out the fire hall design. We banked money in previous years that we had already had designated for that use.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Absolutely.
Just to be clear, the money set aside for the pool design came out of the council's request that when we sold property, that money would be used for that only. It's not coming out of what we said would be used for the fire hall.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
I want everybody to know that. I want to go on record
Yes.
to make sure, because people think might think we're going to steal from one to the other. That was something we made long before you came on, that the council made that. I think it was back with Joan Smith and Debbie maybe that we made that, when we said we're going to sell that stuff before they started the highway, redoing the highway.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's totally separate pot of money that was specifically designated. Next page. So here is the breakdown of our general fund revenues. As you can see, we have sales tax, our Measure V money, the property tax money, our Measure C, which is also a separate pot of money, transient occupant tax. We did conservatively estimate on these budgets based off of current unknown volatile market. We've been trending in our sales tax 2% down. So we kept that on the conservative side so that we don't overestimate those funds. So the one thing to point about the Measure V, it has not been in place very long. We've only received about 4 months of actual payments. So it's a little more challenging to estimate how much that's going to be over a year. We'll have a better idea once we have a little more information under our belts. So I'm not sure if everybody understands how sales tax is paid. We get it paid monthly, but it is an estimate that the state does. So they're guessing as much as we're guessing until we have a little better flow of cash flow on that.
May I address both you and the city manager? So again, so we're clear on this. So everybody's clear, because this is for the record. The money that's coming in on that Measure V, that sales tax money, is your aim right now is twofold: buying the property, paying, or threefold maybe: buying the property, paying for the rest of the architecture study, and you've begun the hiring of full-time firefighters with that money.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we're on record so that people that might be listening in or might go read online go, "Oh, well, wait a minute, they're taking that money to pay for streets, or they're paying for whatever." But that's what you have shared with us as council. I want to make sure the public is aware of that money, I mean, we may not be spending it now, but once we get ready to close escrow, we're going to spend $850,000 of it.
Correct.
So. Okay, and some of it we might not have. We may end up having to take out a general fund. Then we can replenish general fund with what we say. We have to take out 200,000 to complete the sale and the escrow. Then we can take that 200,000 back out.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And put it in general fund that way. Okay, thank you. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse with either of you, but I think needs to be clear to people that might be listening in.
Next. A franchise fee would be, for example, where we could transfer. They provide garbage services in town. They pay the city a certain percentage for the use of our streets and roads. Next slide. Getting into the expense side of things, the general fund is coming in about 2,700 to the good. So we're estimating we're going to put away, a tiny bit of money. Um, every penny counts, we are doing in this budget, we have a $600,000 transfer to reserves, specifically setting it aside for future construction needs for the fire hall. And an additional 520,000 is being put directly towards that purchase of the Shop Smart.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. 27,000 to the
Yep.
good. Excellent.
Yes. 2,700. Yeah. So baby pennies. Correct. In 26-27, we are also looking at about 1,400 to the good. Again, we're transferring 600,000 into that reserve account specifically assessed for the fire hall, and an additional 115K as well. So we're doing two different transfers because 115 is specifically for construction funds. So we have some backing. The 600 is putting away in case of any other things that may come up, studies, et cetera, that we may have to do for making sure it's good to build. If you notice, our police continue to be our largest expense at about 44% of the entire general fund. It equates to approximately $4 million in expense for our police department. Fire is going to get pretty darn close to the same dollar amount over the next few years. Just something to be aware of. Fire departments and police departments are relatively run about the same dollar amount of what is needed to have personnel and the equipment. Any questions?
What is the 1% to city council?
That is your stipends, that is your training expenses, that's legal fees that are incurred when council contacts or when Andrew comes to just be for city council meetings.
Okay. It doesn't matter. I mean, it wouldn't matter much, but I would stick with the same thing I said when I came on council, and I've said it many times just in the last meeting or two. I mean, I think this council is generous enough that we would do this job for free. I wouldn't mind having that come back up at a meeting at some time. I don't see us needing to be paid to sit here.
Yes. That's the upkeep of the pound, paying for our kennel techs to go out, clean out at the kennels, play with the dogs, try and get them adopted. That is, and it's also a portion of a officer, since our officers are specifically used to retrieve dogs out in the field. But it's a very small percentage of one officer.
No, one more question. I know that the city doesn't like using Facebook much, but could we create a Facebook for only animal control?
We have a Yreka ACO page in which they advertise all available dogs for adoption.
Okay.
Yeah, and we actually have an amazing kennel tech that does a fabulous job of getting dogs rehomed or put into other shelters that can rehome them.
I thought so.
It warms my heart to see. Speaking of online, is it online?
No, it's not an approved budget, so no, it is not online anywhere. Yes. Yeah, we can put the graphs and stuff on. Next slide. So this is just a quick breakdown of what our police department looks like. As you can see, when people say we're going to hire somebody for $60,000 salary, I say, okay, that's going to cost us 120. Here is a very good example of what we pay in wages is about what we pay in benefits and indirect costs.
Every government agency has it.
Yeah.
Private sector, when you hire the student.
Yes. So yeah, 86% of their budget is labor related. So when they say we can't, we don't have money to buy equipment and stuff, they're not kidding, because most of their budget is identified for personnel costs because we need all of our personnel.
And won't it be similarly with fire.
It
to-
will be
To an
fin-
extent. I know that a snorkel might last 20 years, but it's still $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of fire, next slide. Here is the breakdown of fire. This is budgeted for three firefighters currently, just because we didn't want to over budget in this area if we didn't. We're still working on hearing back on the SAFER grant. Unfortunately, the federal government has shut down, and we were supposed to know by the 30th, and we still do not know. So we are still hopeful that we will be able to obtain the SAFER grant, which will give us funding to hire three additional. Do we go for 3 or 4? Okay. It's either 3 or 4. I can't. Yeah, that 6 total was our goal. We were trying to use the SAFER grant to help fund that as we get all of these kinks worked out of how much money is coming in, what money are we needing to use for one-time expenses of getting the new fire hall going, so we were hoping to get that SAFER grant to help get that extra 3 on, and then they would help pay for it over the next 3 years, and then we would take over the payment of them going forward. It just gives us a little relief here in the first year of getting started and of figuring out how all the funding's exactly going to be coming in. Again, most of their expenses are wages and benefits. As you can see, they have kind of a larger fleet expense, which is because their equipment is harder and more expensive to fix. So if and when it does break down, it takes more of our fleet guys and it takes more expense for that. Next slide. As we move into our water and wastewater, I just want to remind everybody that we did not get the percentage that we had hoped for. When we had gone through the 218 process, we ended up getting 3% less than what our engineers recommended. So we can still see that happening in these budgets. We're having to pull about $293,000 out of reserves to help cover current year expenses. Unfortunately, chlorine's gone through the roof. Everything has really exponentially increased, but we don't have much of a option. We still have to operate. You can see in 26, 27 that is starting to reverse. We're bringing in more. We're able to transfer less money out of reserves. What this budget does include is a water meter project of about $300,000 budgeted in each fiscal year. What we are doing are upgrading our water meters to be cellular service, therefore being able to save expense with people, because our water meter guy won't have to drive by your house to get the reading. It will just automatically send it to our system for us to bill. This is part of the 218. Part of the 218 includes, regular maintenance and upgrade. So it's not uncommon for us to do this. It is part of our plan in the 218. It's just becoming evident that it is time that we need to upgrade those and make sure that all our meters are working to their top level.
Chances are too, James, Mr. Clare, I don't think you were on council when the 218 first came
No,
up.
he was not.
And so this council, minus you, shot themselves in the foot because Finance Committee made a recommendation that would have kept our water and sewer in the black. And we made that recommendation. And then at the meeting where we were going to vote, a council person decided that they wanted to drop it 3% or a little more. I forget what it was.
Right around 3.
That 3% would mean a big change. So we asked it to be brought back to us, I think at the next meeting, I believe. I don't think you weren't city manager at the time. And when we came back, we argued against that, but this person assured us that it was the thing to do, that it was the right thing to do, even though it would put this city at risk. And it would put your water, my water, anybody's water and sewer in here at risk. that's when you really start hearing from people when we have to boil water or, I mean, you're going to get lots of calls at home. And so we thought we still had the votes, but one person on the finance committee who had lobbied for it decided to vote against the recommendation that they had already made and voted for the new one. Ergo, we are at a point where for the next, probably until we can do another 218 survey, we will be subsidizing between $100,000 and $250,000 a year out of reserves. Granted, they'll be probably out of water reserves. I understand that.
Yes.
But then what happens is when we get a break in a pipe coming down from Fall Creek at a probably no less than $1 million a year, a mile, it just means that we have less. And we got pipe up there that was rated for, I think, 40 years when my neighbor, O.G. LeBaron, fought for it and got this in. And I think it's now been in 52, 55. So, yeah. So, I mean, this is why the finance committee is so important for us. And if you don't agree with something, please bring it up now rather than let's not take it into, it's okay to agree, to disagree, but if you disagree, don't hesitate to say it. Okay?
Next slide. Just a quick breakdown of what our water expenses are. Again, majority of it is wages. People are our most valuable asset. Without them, none of the system works. Some of the increases we have found, power has gone up significantly, which, as you know, if we're pumping up at Fall Creek, that's a big dollar amount. Operations, price of chlorine, etc., has also increased. Besides that, everything's pretty status quo compared to previous years. Next slide. Our sewer is doing a little better than our water, which is good news. We are transferring in 247,000 from reserves in 25-26. Thank you, Paul. There is a one-time expense of $150K. That is a state mandate pre-treatment program. So that's why we're pulling so much from reserves in this year, is it's a one-time expense that the state is requiring us to do. But we see that trend reverse in 26-27, where we are 13,000 to the good. So not as concerned with sewer, but water is definitely, when we go back to the 218 process in 2028, we will want to make sure that we address any shortfalls we may see happening in there. Next slide. Again, just the breakdown of our expenses. Again, the majority of it is our people who are what we desperately need to make everything work. Our debt servicing is slightly larger than in water. As a reminder, we are maxed out on our lending capacity in sewer. So if we have any major projects, we're going to have to find stuff that's fully grant funded. Again, same issues, utilities, everything's going up, chemicals, all that good stuff. Is there any questions, concerns? The last 218. Yeah. Yes, we will start that process in 2027, as it is kind of a lengthy process that we do when we engage Pace Engineering, that takes all of our financial information and what future projects that we're trying to accomplish. And they do a engineer analysis to give us that recommendation. Yeah. Any other questions? Concerns? All in all, a solid budget. Getting some very large and needed projects done in here. So it should be a busy couple years.
I'd like to add something for James, for Mr. Clare's benefit. We're a little less formal in here, especially when we only have 2, 3, 4 people. If we have 6 or 7 people or more, we would be more formal. But we do allow, and I don't know if you've sat down on one of these, but we allow a little more informality. We won't let it get out of hand, but I mean, if they want to ask, ask it now and, take a minute or two to address it rather than 10 minutes later.
No, I think unless they really want to see the fee schedule, we can figure that out. So if we don't have anything else on the budget, I think we can go to the next item. Oh,
Okay. Just read it out so that you have item B.
discussion regarding master fee schedule update. I'm sorry, going back to the last one, is it the finance committee's recommendation that we go ahead and take this to council on October 21st?
Mr. Claire, do you have questions about this before, or would you support taking it to council, or would you not support taking it to council? I would support taking it to council. You would support taking it to council, and Ms. Aldrich?
Yes, I would
Miss,
support that.
was it Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
I wasn't sure how you want to be addressed. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't matter to me, Paul.
Okay, so then this finance committee, including the two council members, recommends that this recommends the updated budget for fiscal year 25-26 and the budget for fiscal year 26-27 go to the council with our recommendation on it, that we support this and that we recommend this budget be adopted.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Item B, discussion regarding master fee schedule update. This is actually Alia's presentation she will bring along with the budget. We bring it every year along with the budget. She is out at a training right now, so I was going to cover it for her here. Most of the fees either stayed the same or went down slightly. CCI was negative 0.3%. So we applied that negative CCI just like we do with other, like our diff fees, etc. One significantly went down, which was the parcel line and property line adjustment. It went down by 40%. They found a more efficient way of getting those done. So we went ahead and dropped the cost on that. A couple of these went up by about 12.5% due to payroll increases to the staff members that do it, or that was pretty much it. We left all of the community center and theater fees the same. We didn't make any adjustments on those. So nothing significant. This is something we bring annually to you guys just so we stay on top of things so that we're not bringing adjustments 20 years down the line and it's a very significant change. We like to follow the CCI mainly so that we're staying in line with the market.
May I just ask a quick question? And it's, we've talked for the 7 years I've been on council about incorporating a fee into the stage, because we cannot, once that stage is gone, we can't afford to buy new ones. So we'll be without a stage. There's no way we're going to be able to, we may be able to put money away for 3 or 4 years, but do we either A, want to incorporate a fee, or B, want to incorporate into the budget a deferred maintenance, or C, both? So I guess I'll bring that up. Let's not talk, there's no need to talk about it here. I guess we can talk about it at the, at council, but is that out of line? Does that seem out of line?
I think you could do any of the three.
That fee wouldn't necessarily fit here.
It could.
Okay.
We have the community, which I just realized that what I printed out was only page 1. The communities, I mean, we charge for the community center. That fees are on these schedules. We could have a stage rental fee. My concern with this, and I get where you're going, but my concern with the stage rental fee is that 98% of the people renting the stage will be asking for a waiver.
And then we just don't grant it because again, it's like with the water and sewer. Right now, we are supplementing 2,300 homes. We are paying for some of their water and sewer bill. They're not paying for it.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. So then what I would say then is maybe we could put it on a future agenda to talk about putting aside every year for 5 years a deferred maintenance cost of 20 grand or in a separate funding stream so that when that does go, you guys, because I mean, most of us council members will be gone in 4 years, 6 years. Then you guys have the money to, and ladies, I'm sorry, gentlemen and ladies, you have the money to, and we don't have to initiate a fee and everybody wins. I don't know. Just a thought.
Don Marie?
You guys, you talk about.
Game plan it. Okay.
There already is a rental fee for the stage, except for that every single person who rents it out gets a waiver for it, so they have never actually put any money in the pot for that. We were here when they were gonna give the stage away, and we fought mightily to keep it, and I mean me, Miranda, fought mightily to keep it and make that, rental happen, but everybody wastes it every single time. It's in the contract, So what we need to do is stop giving it to people for free.
Well, we need to address it.
Yeah.
And it was probably the same time, same city manager, but also giving away community. We had a city manager giving away
Yeah.
community here.
Yeah.
Same time, actively trying to get it to high school for anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that too.
Does anybody else have any questions or concerns regarding the master fee schedule?
Is Aaliyah, she have to present or do you want to recommend?
She will present at the council meeting, but probably would have the recommendation that we brought it in front of finance.
Questions?
Yes.
Any questions or comments? I mean, your comments are well taken. Appreciate it, Don Marie. Any other questions or any other comments from any of the four in the audience? Any comments, questions from Mr. Clare? What are Mr. Clare, your thoughts? I mean, I'm not asking, I mean, I'll tell you mine, but I would support it. But I mean, I try not to do that. I try to let you. Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do then, just so you know, Mrs. Aldrich, is through regarding the master plan fee schedule update, this finance committee does support it. Again, I think the stage is we need to have a separate discussion about it because there may be a better way to go about it. But that's, we can talk about that with the council and with the city manager and figure out, something like that.
Yep,
Absolutely. If we want to do like we used to do at Jackson Street, we had a deferred maintenance on different, the district has deferred maintenance on certain things. So there's always $50,000 or $100,000 there. So, okay. So we are in support of item B.
Correct.
And if there's no further questions, we're going on to item C, discussion regarding the GAN limit.
Yes. For those who may not know, the GAN limit is a state requirement that every year we calculate the GAN limit, which means we declare that we are only spending we can spend up to here based off of our population and our budget, but that we're only spending X is below it. It has a lot to do with the city of Bell, who their council gave all of themselves like $1 million salaries and totally tanked it because they weren't being transparent with how much money they were spending out of general fund. It's an annual requirement. I do the calculation every year. I present it to you guys in a resolution. This year, our appropriations limit was $24,949,000. The money we are actually budgeted to spend in 25-26 is only $13,587,000. So significantly below the limit in which we are allowed to spend. I just have to bring it before you guys every year and get your approval. I think usually we just put it on consent, mainly just because it's below the limit and significantly below the limit, because I would love to be able to spend $29 million, but we don't have that. Do we have any questions about it? I know that's kind of a vague overview of it, but that's basically the gist. Yay, not over the limit.
Are we, yeah, we're not over the limit. Are we in agreement? I mean, it is something we have to do by law, but are we in agreement that we support what the, okay. So the finance committee then, does support, the presentation you made to us on the GAN limit and that we're within, our limitations with GAN and that we are watching out. We don't want to be like the city of Bell. God, I think they were paying the guy 550,000 a year, 20 years ago or something like that. The city manager is unbelievable, 20 years ago. So, okay, so we support it and would like you, when it's put on if any question comes up, when it's on the consent agenda, finance committee supports passing it.
Excellent.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. So I think, do we have any other business?
Nope,
Okay.
I do not.
I want to thank you for being clear on everything, clear on the wages. I do want to, make sure, I thank you for being clear on fire department, what's going on there and that sort of thing and what's going on with the pool. And, thank you and, you guys for your hard work on this. I appreciate it. Thank you both.
Thank you.
So if there's no more, if there's no more, what's that? Oh,
It's
if there,
on military time.
yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. No, I'm sorry, I lost my words. If there's no more business, then we're adjourned at 12:37 or 36, whatever you've got up there. Okay.
Whichever clock you want to look at.